What I find so attractive about the place is that I hear good news and I see good news embodied.
People are fed from this community, both literally and spiritually.
The warm welcome that's extended by this place to everybody is so incredibly genuine.
If there's no Christ Church Cathedral, we probably wouldn't go to any other church. So probably for the first few years of my life, I wouldn't know who God or Jesus was.
Some people go to yoga, I go to church.
Over the course of a few days in the fall of 2012, we asked some Christ Church Cathedral parishioners what it would mean to them and to the greater community if Christ Church Cathedral, the building and the parish, ceased to exist.
I think if Christ Church Cathedral ceased to exist in Vancouver, we would lose an oasis of calm and peacefulness that attract people to this place all the time.
Welcome to our infomercial.
In the immediate, I would miss the gathered community and seeing that sea of faces, especially when they come up for the bread and the wine of the Eucharist.
I think that I would feel like I had lost my spiritual home, and that it would be an enormous loss of a sense of history and community as well as spirituality.
You know, if something happened and it shut down because of who I am, I'd go find another church. But I think that there'd be a lot of people who wouldn't do that, that they're for this place is where they've, you know, this is like, well, God is here.
I have a strong faith that if the building were not here, that's what I would miss in terms of the nurturing that I would receive. But I believe very much that the community would rise up and there would be a new community created.
It's funny, we actually had to contemplate this question not long ago, in a way. We thought about moving. We had a chance to move. And one of the big factors in deciding not to move, at least for me, was that I finally found Christ Church Cathedral, and there's not another Christ Church Cathedral anywhere else.
I really believe that we are a strong enough community that we would find somewhere else. You know, it's not just on the building, which is obviously very important to all of us, but it's the fact that this is important and we will remain together no matter what.
Well, the question being, what would the consequences be to us and the greater community if Christ Church Cathedral were to cease to exist? I think the thing that comes to my mind is the spiritual deficit that would exist. The warm welcome that's extended by this place to everybody is so incredibly genuine.
I believe that Christ Church definitely is the face of Christ out to our community, and also the face of Christ to each and every one of us who attend.
If something were to happen, I'd be heartbroken, and I'm quite confident that we would rebuild. But my dream would be that down the road, people would visit long past our days and see the dents in the pews like you do in the churches in England, and they would think of the cathedral in all the generations.
When I wrote Step Out of the Present and Enter the Deep Stillness of Another Age over 10 years ago, it wasn't just as a copywriter writing an invitation in front of the church, but was based on personal experience. I could write shelves full of novels based on the stories of people that have come in and out of Compline over the time that I have been sitting in the stillness and being still, knowing that there is a God. Suicides, rethought, first steps of 12 steps taken, forgiveness granted and given. All of these have happened here at 9:30 on Sunday evening because of the gift of glorious singing and generous hospitality under the sign, Open doors, open hearts, open minds. This means that here, in the shadow of downtown towers where we are now, this is absolutely priceless. But not only priceless, is worthy of every nickel we can raise to make sure that it will continue to be here and as well done as it is for as long as the city needs to have some place where they can step out of the present and enter the deep stillness of another age.
Wonderful choir and wonderful music.
And if Christ Church suddenly ceased to exist, I guess my first reaction would go, where would I go to sing? One of the things I most enjoy about the services, apart from the ritual, which I do enjoy, is the music and the chance to lift my voice in praise every seventh day. It's a big part of what makes me who I am.
And I would really miss the choir. It's very pretty.
Welcome to our infomercial.
From my experience, from the people I know, from the people who come in as visitors, there would be an incredible void of a place of sanctity, of serenity, and a place for people who wish to worship and for people who wish to inquire about the Christian community.
It is a community that is sacred. It's a community that is giving. The space is used tremendously by groups in the city. People are fed from this community, both literally and spiritually.
And of course, we love the opportunities for children and the opportunities to serve others. And they're all combined in this wonderful package that is the cathedral.
I gain nourishment of the soul, the great music, great liturgy. I love the sermons specifically. Furthermore, it's a means to give back to the community through the 127 Housing Society that we support, the LUMS project, the Spread the Nets that we're doing through the Prime Minister's World Relief and Development Fund, which I'm really excited about. I think we've raised 300 nets so far for families.
I can't imagine what our lives, Judy and I, would be like without Christ Church Cathedral, because it is the center of this community. Not only is it located in the center of this beautiful city, but it's the center of so many people's lives.
But in order to do all these things, buildings, don't run on no money. People can't be expected to work for no money. It costs money every day. Every day this place is open and this place is open pretty much every day. It costs money.
I can support as part of the community rather than by myself, which I can then give more back. Increasingly, I need the renewal each week, so whether it's at the Sunday morning service or the Compline service at night, it's sometimes a nice time to recharge. Some people go to yoga, I go to church.
I am one of the co-chairs of Parish Council this year, and a couple of weeks ago on Sunday, all of the leaders at Christ Church Cathedral came forward and made their pledges for the upcoming year. And that was a very inspiring thing to see, because many people participated and showed their commitment to the church through intentional giving and pledged.
Welcome to our infomercial.
A few years back, we walked down to the art gallery, or the library, and we met there while the renovations of the cathedral were being done, and which was fun. It was exciting. We were a community, and Jim Cruikshank says we find God through community, and so we found God at the library at that point in time.
Because I believe very much in the fact that we are a people of hope, and hope, to quote a Brazilian theologian, is to hear the melody of the future, and faith is to dance it. And I would believe that we as a community would do that. We would discern what is the future melody, and we'd be ready to dance to it.
My sense is that the Christ Church Cathedral has staked out a really vital and essential place in terms of the good news. And what I find so attractive about the place is that I hear good news and I see good news embodied. So it's not a kind of gospel that's founded on guilt or a gospel that's founded on anger. It's a gospel that's founded on new life. And I think it would just be a tragedy if that was lost. And the fact that it's right here in the middle of the city, and in the building that in many ways is the cathedral for the city, or the church, the city's church, I think is just exquisite, would be the word I would use. And so if this place wasn't here, that would be lost. The diversity of this place is incredibly appealing, but it's also a huge message that it's kind of a little bit of an advanced heaven message. You know, if we can learn to live here with each other, then we have a possible chance of figuring out how we're going to live in heaven. Because there's going to be a lot of different people there, and people who are actually going to be surprised. We're going to be surprised to find there, and so you kind of get surprised every Sunday when you come here about who you find.
Open doors, open hearts, open minds, and that's what we really love about Christ Church Cathedral, and we cannot possibly imagine our lives without it.